Hello everybody. Today what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with a new video where I'm gonna show you guys how to set up Windows 2022 domain controller for business. I'm sure some of you guys probably know how to do that already, but I wanted to show you guys the proper way to do it and the way I've been setting up, Active Directory for business. It started from Windows Windows 2000, 2003, 16, 19, 22, all those things. So today that's what we're gonna be doing. So I have to set up Windows 2022 domain controller for business. This is gonna be my gateway IP address /24, and that's gonna be my DC IP address. That's gonna be my DNS IP address, same IP as the domain controller. And we might have to use the loopback, which is supposed to be, I made a mistake here, it's supposed to be 127. We might have to use that, and maybe not. So my dhcp is going to be, it's going to start from 100 to 250, so that's 150 IP address. And that's the type of IP address I'm going to be using on the network. But obviously, when you set up this, you have to use the IP address that works for your network. So I'm using this class A IP address, but you might have to use something else. But the setup is pretty much the same. So this is the domain name we're gonna be using. This domain name, I registered this domain name at GoDaddy, and you don't need to do that, but because I plan to do more stuff, that's why I registered this domain, because I plan to show you guys how to set up a website on your server. So that's why I'm gonna use this domain name. I'm gonna create email address, but not only this video. This video here, it's only to show you guys how to set up a domain controller for business. And this is gonna be the public DNS we're gonna be using on the domain controller. So those are the basic step I'm gonna be doing. So you can see here, step one is configure the DC server with the static IP address. So obviously it's gonna be this IP address here. Then we're gonna set up Active Directory service and set up DNS, from 1 to 6. That's what we're gonna be doing. So if the first step, you can see, let me go to, we're gonna be using Hyper-V for this. If I'm open at my Hyper-V, you can see I have a server. This is just a Windows 2022 server. I just set up. It's I updated. I haven't done anything on it. You can see it has like 10 gig memory, and I think I have 2 CPU on it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna log in on it, and we're gonna log in on the server, and we're gonna set it up with the static IP address. Then we're gonna move to steps 2, 3, then move, from there. Okay. So let me just log into the server. Basically, I'm gonna log in here like that. So okay. Alright, so this is the server here. I'm logging. Let me go to the control panel. I'm gonna put the IP address there. Go here. And let me see if I can move this. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna put the IP address there. So 5, 9, put subnet mask. The gateway is gonna be this. The gateway IP address over here, it's gonna be 48. This one here, which is the IP address of my firewall or router. So from here, I'm just gonna put the IP address of the server itself. Some people, they put the loopback address, which is 127.0.0.1, but I'm just gonna put this IP address, the server IP address over here. Okay, so this is okay. Close this. we're gonna go here. Actually, let's just do this one more thing. We have to rename the server. Because I'm just doing this on the fly based on my experience. I don't really have a cheat sheet or anything like that. So we're gonna rename the server to DC9. This is just a name. Obviously, you can name it to whatever you want when you set up your own system. So I'm gonna restart the server real quick. Okay. So basically, we just finished with step one, which is to configure the server with a static IP address. And I guess I should add change the server name, but you guys saw I just did it. So let me log in back to the server. Okay. Let's go back here. Click here. I guess we have to wait for this thing to load. Let's try one more time. Okay. Let's try again. Okay, so we're gonna click next, next, next. So we're gonna choose this guy over here, domain, Active Directory domain name services. Click next, next. I'm gonna click on this guy here. Okay, so the installation, is processing. So we just have to wait for this. Then once it's done, it's gonna restart the server. Then we're gonna continue, probably promote the server to DC. But let's just give it a minute. Okay. Hopefully this thing doesn't take that much time, so you guys don't have to wait. Just wait for this. And the server I'm using, it's supposed to be something fast. It should work quick. Okay. So right now we're on second step, set up Active Directory service. That's what we're doing right now. This guy here. That's what we're doing. Okay. Okay. So while this thing is loading, let me show you guys something. If I go, actually, this is done. Okay, we can close this. Let's click here. So we're gonna put the domain name that we want to use, which is, I don't think I can copy. I think I have to, yeah, I have to type this here. So it's gonna be, actually we'll click here. So, and this is fine. So we're gonna put the password for this. That's okay. And we have to wait for this. It's gonna show the domain name over here if everything is good, right? Somewhere here. It should say Pygami Cloud somewhere. Yeah, it is. Okay, and this is fine. Okay, I'm gonna run the installation. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to find a way to kind of, I guess, stop the video and merge it so you guys don't have to sit there and watch all this. So to make the video short, but that's something I will do when I'm editing the video. Okay. So yeah, so when I'm editing the video, I'm gonna cut all the time that it takes to install this, because you guys don't have to sit there and watch this. Okay. Minimize this thing here. Also, one thing I was gonna show you guys, actually, so it looks like it's already done. Okay, it's already done. It's supposed to restart by itself. Okay, it's restarted by itself. Okay, so that didn't take that much time. Okay. One thing I wanted to show you guys. So if I go back to my Hyper-V, you can see I have we have a PC here, the test PC2. We're gonna be testing this. So once the domain controller is back up running, we're gonna join this PC to the domain. And first of all, we have to make sure that PC takes an IP address from the domain controller after we set up the dhcp. So once that's done, then we're gonna be using this PC to join to the domain and log in with the user that we create. If that works, that's mean everything is good. So let's just go back to finish setup Active Directory while it's still loading. So right now we're on step 2. Then once that's done, we probably gonna create a couple user there and do step 3. Okay. Let me see how much what's the performance on the server, on the host server so far. Okay, performance. because I have 128 gig memory on that host server, so I'm using 28%, so which is good, because that domain controller, I give it 10 gig. Obviously you're gonna give your domain controller the memory that you think it needs based on your work requirement, on the business requirement. But for me, this is just a test system, so 10 gig, it's more than enough for what we are doing here. Okay, and let me go back here. So we got this server here, and this is my firewall. It's a MikroTik firewall. I have a video that show you guys how to set up the MikroTik firewall on a Hyper-V. So that's the one that's running over here. So that's what taking care of our firewall needs. Let's log in back to the server. Okay, so I'm just gonna log in with my password. Okay, I'm able to log in. Okay, so now let's go to Active Directory. We're gonna create one more user. We can come here. Okay, I'm gonna create the OU for now. I'll call this call it admin. I'm gonna create a user here. I'm gonna call this one Tech 11. And we're gonna use this user to log into the workstation to see, basically that will tell us everything is fine. That tell us a user is able to log in to the network, to the domain controller. Okay, so I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna put a password. Okay. Okay, so we have one user. Okay, so that's done. And obviously, if you set up this for a business, you're gonna have different departments. You probably have a HR department. You probably have a finance, so you just create different OU and put those users there. And you probably can create a group policy also. Depends what you're doing. But this is just a basic setup. So now let's go. We can close this. So now let's go to. We're gonna set up our DNS in the dhcp. Click here. DNS. Yeah, so this is good. So what we need to do, let's just move this a little bit here. On the DNS, we have to set up something called we have to add the public IP address on the forwarded type, because that's what the workstation that's get IP address from the domain controller, they're gonna use that to go online for faster response. So let's go here like this. Property, forwarding. We're gonna add those IP address there, which is those IP address here. That's what we're gonna add over there. Okay. That one. This one is for Google. And just you can there's a lot of them you can add, but those are the ones that most people use. Okay. And I don't know why it says unable to resolve, but it should just work. It probably take a little time, but it should work. Okay, I'm just gonna close. Yeah, it's working. See? Okay. So that's done. Now let's set up the dhcp. Okay, we're gonna go back here. And the thing is, I've seen some people or admin, they put the DHCP on the firewall. I don't think that's the proper thing to do. Your DHCP is supposed to be running on your domain controller. And well, I don't know if it's wrong to have it on the firewall, but me, I usually do it on the domain controller. I think that's probably better. Okay, and that's what we are doing here. So I'm gonna go here. Actually, it's not listed here, so we have to add it as a DHCP role because that doesn't get added by default. So we're gonna click here. We might have to wait for this, but let's see. Just click on this. Yeah, we have to wait for the server to load, finish loading. Let's give it a try again. I don't know how long this takes, but it is always take time. So let's try again. Okay, click next, next. Okay. Okay. So now let's look for the DHCP server, this guy here. Next. Click here. Yeah, so now we install the DHCP. Yeah, those things they are very easy to do. Once you do them a couple of times, it's just easy to do. For me, because I'm not even looking at anything, I'm just doing this. I mean, I got this, step by step, but I'm just doing it, just like that. And I'm sure you guys, after a couple of trying, you would be able to do the same too. Yeah. Yeah, so once this done, then it's a matter of, because I already configure a workstation. We just have to make sure the workstation get an IP address from the DHCP and join it. So this is done. Let's see what it says over here. Okay, so it's done. Then now we have to complete the DHCP configuration. We click here. So we're gonna click here. Okay, we're gonna use this. That's good. Okay, so now let's go here. DHCP. Okay, this is our DHCP over here, right? So we have to do some basic configuration. Okay, we're gonna click right click over here. We're gonna click configure. So we need to add the router IP address, what you call the firewall, which is this guy here, that 10.1.5.48. That's the one we need to add. And let's just say like this, 48. We're gonna add that. Okay. And now let's add the DNS. Which is pygomicloud.com. Let's see if you resolve it. Okay, so this is our server IP address. That's our domain controller IP address. Let's add that. Okay, perfect. And we might have to do one more. Let's see what else they have here. I think we might have to do this one here. And now we don't need this because we have the order, we have the DNS. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay. Let me just. don't need this. Okay. All right, so now we need to do so now we're gonna create a dhcp scope. So basically right click over here, new scope. We're just gonna call this dhcp server. Okay, click next. And we said we want the dhcp IP to start from a 100 to 250. So let's say 10 at 5 at 100. Me personally, I don't need all that, but because this system only have like few PC on it, but this is for you guys. Obviously, when you set up here, you have to see the way I normally do it. Any IP address that's under 100, I leave them static. I reserve them static to use for my server thing, like let's say server, web server, or video system or printer, everything like that. Then anything above 100, and I leave them for the workstation. So that's what we are doing over here. So put this here 5 and put 250. And the list length, that's 8, but you can change whatever you want. I'll change this like that. And we don't have anything to exclude, so we don't have to worry about this. This is okay. Okay. And we need to put the other IP address there, which is 10.1.5.48, right? And now this is fine. We don't need this. We can click next. Okay. All right, so let's see if we picked up anything. If it like a workstation picked up anything. Maybe not, but let's see. There's nothing, so that's okay. This is pretty much done. So what I'll do, let me go to this guy here. We're gonna be using this PC over here. Let's see if it's picked up an IP address. I'm gonna log in to the PC. Right. Okay, hold on. So we might have to do an IP config release and to see. Let's see. Okay, now let's to renew the IP, see if we're gonna pick up an IP address from the domain controller. Okay, yeah, I think it picked up something. Okay, so it takes 246. So let me do see, that's the IP it takes, 246. That's our gateway, that's our DNS, right? So now let's go back to the server dhcp. Let's see if it show that 246 IP address on our dhcp. It's supposed to show. So, but let's just double check. I'm gonna refresh this. Yep, it's right there. Let me see if I can maximize this. See, that's the guy right here. So it's working. So this is done. So while I'm here, so right now I am on the workstation. Let's try to rename this workstation before we put it on the domain, okay? That should be done quick. So we're gonna call this one test PC1. Okay. restart it. You can just remove this thing here. So yeah, we're gonna log in back on the test PC. We're gonna try to the domain, and we're gonna try to log into the domain using one of the users that we create. So just log in back locally again. Okay. So now we're gonna drag that PC to the domain, to that Pygomi cloud domain. So as you can see, I click here, go back here. Pygomi cloud, which is our domain controller domain. It's gonna ask me for the username and password for the domain controller. Okay. Yeah, so it's working. See, welcome. It's working. Yeah, we're gonna restart it. Then now we're gonna log into that PC, because that PC is run to the domain right now. It's on the network. We're gonna log in using one of the users that we create. We only have one user that we create. Let me go back to, I'll show you the user here. The user was Tech11, I believe. Let's go back here on the domain controller. Go to admin. This is the user that we're gonna be logging, okay, on the workstation. So if we're able to log in, that means everything is working fine. So let's see. Click here on the workstation, and then click here. Type Tech11, and I'm gonna put the password that you guys don't know about, because I have it on cheat sheet somewhere on my other screen. So let me type that. Yeah, I can log in. It's all working. Yeah. So we log in. So the PC. So what we did, we set up the one server as a domain controller. We add Active Directory. We do all the setup. Then we add a workstation to that domain controller. It takes an IP address from the domain controller. So basically, this PC here is on the network using on the domain controller network. Okay, so if we go back to domain controller, then we should be able to see that PC name. Let me show you the PC name. It's the test PC, but let's just double check. Host name. See, test PC1. Now let's go back to the domain controller. See this guy here, test PC1. And if we go to our DNS, let's just refresh this. We should be able to see that PC over here. It's right there. And if we go back to our DNS, that DHCP that I showed you before, and we should be able to see the IP address for that test PC. Remove this. Yep, it's right there. It's all good. So now, if we go back to the workstation, I can go online. Yeah, just have to this Microsoft thing, because I just set up this PC, so I didn't do anything on it, so that's why I got all those stupid things. And go to the website. Let's go to Google. this car. Well, everything's moving. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much a basic setup of set up a server as a domain controller on Windows 2022, and set up dhcp, set up a DNS, and join workstation to the domain, and that's pretty much it. I mean, if you're gonna be doing this for a large business, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff, more stuff that you need to do, but basically that's the basic that you need to start with. Okay, so I think that's pretty much. I'm gonna load this on YouTube for you guys to be able to see, and then I'll work on more video, straightforward stuff that you guys need, you can use for your business. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.